our city council meeting to order and ask everyone to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The roll, please.
Shower,
Here.
Lost my cursor.
McIver, Marquez,
Here.
Kenny,
Here.
Clistic, Belzak,
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
5 present, 2 absent.
We have a quorum. The next item is questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. This is an opportunity for anyone in the public to address the city council on any subject matter. And I know we have Mr. Weber in the audience that wants to address the council. Yeah, come up to the microphone microphone and tell us who you are.
I'm David Weber. I currently reside at 7946 Stewart Drive. And what I want to bring to the attention of the mayor and the city council is that the Bailey Park Homeowners Association is operating under the guise of being a non-for-profit homeowners association. However, they are functioning as a for-property management company. And I have the evidence to present to the council and ask the mayor's office to address this to the benefit of the homeowner property taxpayer to assist them and help them against this group.
David, I'm not sure we have the authority to do that, but please give us what you have. And,
Well, just to expand on that, been doing my research here. The mayor does have the authority to do that because the city of Darien is able to issue business licenses. And as of June 2002, after 9/11, the federal tax guidelines were redefined so that any business doing business anywhere, but particularly within the city of Darien, would need a business license, the same as a church or a counseling center. And working through the city clerk's office, the Bailey Park Homeowners Association has never obtained a business license to operate as a homeowners association.
well, we don't license churches either. I mean,
But
so I'm struggling to, I might have to have our city attorney take a look at this, Mr. Weber, to be sure we're on legal ground here.
I would understand that, but
Yeah.
still, it's a matter of, I believe this is Ward 5. It's a matter of when I can expand on a few more details
Oh, sure.
to bring to the council's attention of how this group is operating fraudulently and without state licensure as far as a nonprofit homeowners association.
David, are you concerned about the expenditures or the projects? I know there's been a number of projects that have taken place there lately with walls being built, from retention walls, things like that.
The concern is that under the Illinois state law, it's Common Interest Community Association Act 765 ILCS 160, that first of all, the Bailey Park Homeowners Association is not properly licensed, and under this act, I was directed to bring this to the attention of the council by the Illinois Secretary of State's office, the not-for-profit division, because of the way they have been filing their licensure articles of incorporation for the last 17 years.
Okay.
And then, as I further addressed it, and I brought this to the attention of the Illinois Secretary of State Police, they had advised me to bring it to the attention of the local municipal council. And then I'm also to take the information over to the state's attorney's office.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so please share that with us, and we'll definitely get our attorney involved. Alderman Belzak, this is not your bailiwick of law, is it?
No, it isn't.
No, okay. So we would, if you share your information, we will definitely contact
Okay.
our attorney to take a look and see what legalities we have here.
May I ask a question, Mayor? Mr. Weber, what brought this to your attention, day one, other than, the projects that Alderman Marquez addresses?
Well, essentially, let me read to you, and I will be providing you with a copy of it. This is a letter received by the homeowner, Mary Beth Kavanaugh. You are hereby notified as the owner of 7946 Stewart Drive that you have been charged with violating the association declarations, bylaws, or rules and regulations by which the association is governed. Notice they never say Bailey Park Homeowners Association. Be advised that the association's governing documents call for an immediate fine for this infraction. We don't know what the infraction is.
Got it.
The following needs your immediate attention. Please park automobiles out of public view. You must use your garage and driveway for parking resident vehicles. Guest parking is for guests only and are not to be used as by the residents as parking for their own vehicles. License plate E576037, which is my vehicle, which had just been purchased a few months before. Documented days of parking in guest parking are October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, 10th, 11 at a.m. and p.m. Okay, and then it goes on to state, please note that failure to address this issue within 30 days or continued noncompliance will result in an escalated fine. If you wish to protest this violation, you must send a written response to the Board of Directors, care of Property Specialists and Company, detailing your appeal or requesting a formal hearing. If the written response is not received within 30 days from the date of this notice, and the notice does state up here October 25th, but it wasn't sent certified mail, it will be assumed you are waiving your rights to appeal and accept responsibility for this action, including all costs associated with the ultimate remedy of the problem noted, including but not limited to repair costs and attorney fees, if applicable, due within 30 days.
These are part of the homeowners association
Association
bylaws.
rules, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at here, though, Your Mayor.
Yeah.
They have never formally registered their bylaws. Those are included in here, okay? By the rules of registering a not-for-profit homeowners association, according to Illinois guidelines, they have never done that. So you have an organization that is representing itself as a licensed homeowners association, but yet they are not licensed to be
Okay.
that way.
You've gone to their board meetings and talked to the attorney of the board? Have you done any of that? Is that in
There
your
is no
information?
attorney for the board. The board acts as its own element, as is indicated here. I did go to the meeting to discuss with them, and I was confronted by the side that they had decided by their rules commissioner that their findings, which there's no documentation of these dates, they didn't say who it is, that I was found guilty of not parking my vehicle in front of their house. Now, getting back to your original question, why am I concerned about this? Because how is it that a homeowners association, and none of their documents carry any tax ID number, any direct name of an officer of the board? It's all very generic at the bottom. Sincerely, the Board of Directors, Bailey Park Homeowners Association.
You have a copy of your declarations and bylaws and rules from when you first moved into the property, correct?
That was handed to them. However, those rules, and the rules and the declarations have never been recorded in any official
All
office.
right, that's the point. Okay, so that's, so give us your information, and
Certainly.
we'll have the advice of our city attorney on
Okay.
this.
That's
You know,
fair.
we have dealt, Dan, you have, I have, with a number of homeowners association, and, you know, there's a certain technical element here, but in terms of enforcement, that sounds pretty standard for homeowners association to have somebody who's governing and enforcing the rules. That all sounds relatively,
Yeah,
you know,
it's similar-
standard
yeah, standard,
procedure.
yes. And
So-
I happen to live in a homeowners association too, and they have a management company that we pay to run the place, take care of the place, and I imagine that's the same case with Bailey Park. Probably the spokesperson at that board meeting was one of the representatives. Did you say it's something specialist?
Property specialist.
Yeah, that's
Inc.
probably the company
probably
that
a
they
management company.
hired to manage their property, yeah.
The only thing I would suggest, because you obviously have a number of documents there, if you have, if it's organized or succinctly written, your questions, or your question, that would be helpful. So I don't want the city attorney to look through, you know,
Yeah.
a ton of documents and recordings, but I think if you have a couple specific questions, that would help.
Do you have
Get
them
us to the
written down
point.
already? Do you
Oh,
want to shoot?
yes,
Do you want to
I
shoot me an
had
email? Or
prepared, I can pass this along,
cool.
and all the information is on the letters, and my documentation and evidence.
Okay.
Okay. What I can say on my behalf, Mayor, is that in their articles of incorporation, which are here, which as your own homeowners association that you are, you know,
Yeah, I'm
living
involved in,
under,
yes.
is entering the rules. However, the Bailey Park Homeowners Association has been filing in their articles of incorporation the same 7 names for the last 17 years. Now, 5 of these members who are listed on their articles of incorporation, which are filed each year, do not even live in the complex anymore. The other 2 names on that are not members of the board.
Okay, so thank you for
so-
sharing that with us. And you have your questions written down as
Right, I can.
Administrator
I can-
Van
I-
has suggested,
I
so-
have an envelope, I can slide
Oh,
it into.
great, thank you, thank you. And now, to me, please, thank you. And David, you live at 7946 Stewart? Okay, so you're an owner of that property?
I'm not the owner,
Oh,
I'm a resident there.
okay, all righty, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
That is item 5. Okay, well, let's move on to the approval of the minutes of October 3rd, 2016. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Marquez, seconded by Alderman Shower. Does anyone have any additions or deletions to the minutes? Then the roll, please.
Marquez.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Belkey.
Abstain.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 abstention, and 1 absent, 2 absent, I'm sorry.
The minutes have been approved. Let's move to receiving of communications. Does any of the aldermen have communications to share? Alderman Belkey?
I brought up a few sessions ago that there was a resident concerned with the shape of the road for the span of Bentley Road that hit Willowbrook and also went into Darien. So there was some communication with the resident, and we gave him the answer on when the road and the ditch project was coming up next. And then also, in the meantime, I think the municipal team and Dan got out there and did some, did you fill in some
Shouldering.
rock? Some
Yes.
shoulder repair, so he was very pleased.
Thank you. Other communications? Alderman Kenny?
I do, Mayor. I received a communication from a resident at the 1900 block of Holly. Mrs. Schaefer has a problem with sidewalk on her own private property, feels that the trees from the parkway, the roots are driving up and causing breakage. We got this afternoon with Mr. Gombeck, we got some things from Homer, and I guess Homer Trees are gonna go take a look at it.
Correct. They're gonna do a method of what's referred to as root pruning, where they cut back the roots about 18 inches down into the ground to eliminate any type of roots to be moving further towards a property,
What does that do to the sidewalk? Does that help lower it
Does
again?
nothing- Does nothing to the sidewalk. The sidewalk is in good shape, it's not a problem. She has more concerns about the structural integrity of her foundation and the potential roots that have been threatening her foundation
okay.
along with her driveway. So we're doing another site analysis with a structural engineer to determine if such a culprit can do such damage as she has described,
Oh,
especially
all
to
right.
the foundation.
Okay. Any other communications to share? Let's move on then to the mayor's report. And unfortunately, the president and CEO of the Chamber of Connect, Claire Bongiovanni, can't be here this evening, but she asked me to read this. And the board, actually, her board of directors wants me to read this note to the council and to the audience, too. The Darien Chamber of Commerce will sponsor the 30th Annual Darien Fest. Our board of directors are in the process of restructuring the organization and execution at this time to give the best Darien Fest. Once again, we will be including the local organizations and inviting the community to get involved in this anniversary celebration. Stay tuned for more details. Thank you. That's all I have. So I know it's an ongoing subject matter, and so we'll just wait to hear any additional information. Another announcement I wanted to make under the mayor's report is to announce that we will be having the mobile pantry coming to Darien on Saturday, October 29th. And we will be posting that information, I guess, on our website. Brian? Yes. And we should be putting a flyer up on the bulletin board in the hallway. And the message that they wanted us to read was, are you or someone you know in need of food assistance? HCS Family Services is hosting a mobile pantry on Saturday, October 29th at Darien City Hall, 1702 Plainfield Road. The mobile pantry is offered in partnership with Northern Illinois Food Bank, and it provides nutritious food at no cost to low-income individuals and families in need. Participants are asked to bring bags or boxes in which to pack their food. Registration begins at 8:30 a.m. Food distribution will begin at 10. This, founded in 1937, HCS Family Services is a nonprofit organization based in Hinsdale, Illinois, in Hinsdale, Illinois, that is dedicated to strengthening our community by reducing hunger and promoting self-sufficiency. HCS Family Services provides assistance for hungry neighbors from Downers Grove to Countryside, from Oak Brook to Willowbrook. And if you want more information, you could log on to www.hcsfamilyservices.org. So that's a great service that we're offering. Yes.
Madam Mayor, when she was out here, she mentioned something about volunteers, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought she said something like they'll probably need 70 to 100 people to help.
I don't remember how many she said. We can reach out to Deb and get more information.
Because I asked guys in the Knights of Columbus if they wanted to participate. There are probably a lot of kids doing confirmation hours, things like that, that might want to participate in helping out that day.
Okay. We better ask them if they want to put something in writing to ask for volunteers.
So
as
they need
part
that
of
many?
this.
If they need
Yeah,
that-
I'm not sure how many they need. We'll have to.
Yeah, I don't remember what they said.
The Knights of Columbus actually got a letter asking us for our assistance, and I mentioned that to her. But she said she wasn't aware of that. But she said she gave a number, because we were concerned about the parking, remember? We wouldn't have the parking here for all the volunteers, let alone all the people coming in to get the food. So it'd be nice to know how many volunteers she actually needs.
Okay. We'll have to pin her down and get that information. We have a couple weeks yet. Okay, that's the end of my mayor's report. Did I miss anything? No, I think I got both of those. Okay, the city clerk's report.
Okay, this evening, we're going to be doing the lottery for the 2017 vehicle stickers. I'd like to provide a little bit of history. In 1992, the city council decided to offer the Darien Identification Vehicle Sticker to Darien community organizations through the lottery process. The following organizations were offered the opportunity to participate in the 2017 Vehicle Sticker Lottery, and they include the Darien Chamber of Commerce, Darien Seniors Club, Darien Youth Club, the Active Seniors Club, Young at Heart Seniors, Darien Historical Society, Darien Women's Club, Safety Village of Darien, VFW Darien Memorial Post 2838, Younger Than Ever Seniors. There are 3 provisions that must be followed. The funds for the vehicle sticker, there are donations, and they're to be used for community-related functions. The winner in 1 year is not eligible for the lottery for a 2-year period after winning, and the city reserves the right to withdraw this lottery due to budget constraints at any time. The successful lottery winner will be responsible for purchasing the identification stickers, and the design will be approved by the mayor and the clerk, and offering the same to residents on a donation basis, and they must be available by January 1st of 2017. We had 3 eligible Darien community organizations that expressed an interest in selling the vehicle stickers, and they are the Darien Chamber of Commerce, the Darien Historical Society, and the VFW Darien Memorial Post. And just so that everybody sees, I have a sheet for each, and we will fold them and put them into the container here, and we will pick the lottery winner. Didn't want to fold them first, because you have to see that everybody's name is going in, and I'm trying to fold them all exactly the same. Maybe next year we won't make them so big, but then you wouldn't see the names, so. Okay, what I'm going to do is shake up the bowl, and I'll hold it over your head, Mayor, so that you don't see.
I'm gonna have to stand up because I'm not
Got
that
eyes in the
tall.
back of her head.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. And the winner is the Darien VFW. They will be notified through the city clerk's office with the requirements. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure they'll be very appreciative. Okay.
That's all I
anything
have.
else? Okay. City Administrator's report?
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. Just one item. We have the goal-setting meeting coming up next week, and the packets will go out by Thursday. We've sent out a couple of the packet information out in terms of the garbage program and the resident survey, and we'll have the rest out Thursday. Thank you.
Let's move on to department head reports. Commander, we're going to do Dan Gombeck first? Okay. Okay.
Rank as privileges.
I guess.
I just had the laptop up here, so let's, I
Oh,
wanted to make sure you had all the room that you needed there, Jerry.
Doesn't,
Cubs play
doesn't
by-
trust you, Jer.
By the way, Cubs played last night, if anybody interested. Just kidding. My wife is watching. I won't be at home this
Don't
evening,
go
so.
home.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council, our viewing residents this evening. Prior to me getting into my report this evening, one thing I'd like to say is we're very excited that Nothing Bundt Cakes is moving into Darien. They'll be moving into Starbucks and next to live between Starbucks and Lady Jane's. We don't have a definitive schedule, but they plan on being open before the holidays. So, again, another great business that's a family-oriented business that the developer has been able to secure. We'll keep you posted as things keep coming along here. Anyway, what I want to do is I'd like to show you a PowerPoint presentation. This is in respect to Birchwood Park. Over the last probably 6 months or so, more so, we've had a couple of calls in regards to water that sits in the park basin. The basin is approximately 5 acres, of which is designed to hold water for a period of time. Along with that is a detention area. If I can see this. Bear with me one moment.
I think that's Ron Santo getting even with you.
Where's Birchwood Park at? Birchwood is basically between 71st Street, Walden, and Emerson Drive. This is back in earlier this year, April of 2016. This is where the first concern or where we thought we had a problem. This is looking towards the east, and the two areas that you see are right there where the cursor is, and right back here is little bird bats or large bird bats. That's not the actual pond for the park itself. There's a storm sewers that refer, basically they're 4-inch corrugated pipes. It's a mini storm sewer per se that takes care of these low spots after a rain event. The problem in this case is that rain event, after the rain went away, the puddles didn't go away right away. Again, here's another one. And this is what it looks like today. But what did it take to get to what it looks like today? It's called maintenance. If you look where the arrow is, the big blue arrow, and if you can see there's a small rectangular box in there. In that area, there's a structure that's basically a large concrete structure, which is referred to, let me back that up. Basically, the structure that I'm referring to is a big box with a steel grate on it, is probably the best way to describe it. What happens is when the leaves fall, the branches fall, grass is mowed, all of that accumulates into the pond. This outfall structure is the only structure that takes all the water out of the park. Back in April, when we first came out there to take a look at the situation, it was identified that, oh, there's a problem with the pipes that are underground. And I was the one who also made that first assessment that the pipes underneath the ground need to be replaced. As we started looking into the plans, looking into things more, this outfall structure, again, was clogged. It was clogged with the debris of grass, leaves, branches. So we immediately went back there and removed it. And what this means is that there's a duty from the city as well as the park district. In this case, the city has to take care of the infrastructure as it relates to storm sewers, pipes underground, and these head walls, these types of structures. And the maintenance that I refer to is very simple maintenance. The maintenance is basically someone going out there with a rake and taking the debris off of this large grate. What we could do is basically open up this grate. If we were to open up the grate, that we would drain the pond that's currently in place. This, again, is the structure that I was referring to, which was underwater previously. And you can see the bird, these are literally bird bats now. And these pictures were taken today, so this is after Sunday's rain event. The area still needs to be manicured. The manicuring or the aesthetics of the park are the park district's responsibility. Here's another example of a low area that needs to be filled in, graded, topsoiled, and seeded. This is the box that I was referring to. And if you see the two arrows, you can see the sticks and the grass that have basically clogged approximately 2 foot of that. When that's clogged, it backs up everything else in the park. Again, if we were to remove this entire structure, we would drain the pond. This box is about 5 foot. It's called a slope box technically, but it's about 5 foot deep. That's where the pipe is in. That's where the pipe is at for the outfall. So we could drain the park very easily, but there'd be no more pond out there tomorrow either. Again, it's just telling you what's out there, what have we done in the past to help take care of concerns such as this. And like I said, I know several residents have come back to us and said, what are we doing? We're not doing anything because there is no problem at this time. That's all I have for you.
Dan, we thought it was important to let the council know because we received, we've had some correspondence with the park district, but recently received an email from the park district to a resident. We were copied on it, saying it's the city's responsibility. We've sent the plans back to the Park District. I believe they're having their engineers look at those. We haven't heard back yet, but we were going to set up a meeting. Again, as Dan said, initially, the assessment was a little different, and we thought it was going to be you needed to replace the pipes, but it's no different than what we remind residents every fall. If there's leaves on your inlet in front of your street, the water's going to back up. That's a much simpler version of what is going on where Dan just showed. And certainly that, when we were out there in the summer, Dan, that blockage, it could have been 3 feet. It held that water back on the west side of the park. And what that does, as you and I have talked about, is that water sits there too long, it will have an effect and ruin the grass along with that water sitting. But in a normal course where it's not clogged, that basin is meant to hold water temporarily and drain out as soon as the water levels permit it.
Correct.
So again, it's our position that this is not stormwater related. We'll be talking to the Park District again, but we wanted to let the council know because there's a couple different versions going out there, depending on if you're the city or if you're the Park District.
Right, so again, a lot of the pictures that I showed you earlier was just, there's little bird bats out there, and it's a matter of top dressing and overseeding. So we have initiated through our team that prior to a significant rain event and after a significant rain event, that we go out there and make sure that that grade is clear. We're looking at other options to see what infrastructure or parts are available to modify that where it won't be, we'll call it anti-clogging.
Well, you can't take the grade off, because then you have the peril, of children falling in, people
Yes.
falling into it. So
Yes.
you have to have it graded. But like you said, see if there's any new structures out there that would facilitate the flow of water better.
Correct. A lot of the designs, these designs are from a period when they were commonly accepted, and new designs today include larger bowl areas to prevent this clogging. Obviously, in this case, we can do that, but there'd be no more water in that park. We'd be draining that entire pond just due to the elevation.
Yeah. The drains, that's in the park, correct?
Yes.
All right. Is there any question with regard to the pipes that leads to out to the street?
Is there any issues with them, though?
No.
Absolutely not. And the reason we know that is there would be a backup at the park where it discharges from. All the water will have the opportunity to come in first once after a significant rain event, which comes in off of Emerson, 71st, and the local areas. Once the rain event is over, depending on what the system is doing downstream, the water from the park then is released through this pipe after the slope box, as soon as it could take as much as it can.
So what you're saying is some of those areas that still showed some puddling today with some dirt and regrading and reseeding, you would eliminate those?
That is correct.
Quick question. I'm still a little confused on responsibility and at what point the Park District responsibility ends and ours begins. And it would seem to me that anything above ground would be the Park District responsibility and below ground would be ours regarding removing the water. So when you say that you're going to go out and clean off the grates, wouldn't that be more of a Park District responsibility?
And you would think so, especially when the maintenance people are out there mowing the grass, for example. There's not that type of maintenance exercise that they perform. So we're tasked with it. As part of the infrastructure, we keep it clean.
But the
I-
Park
I-
District,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
No,
but
I'm just saying, to your question, we're taking a step, in a
Proactive.
proactive step to make sure that grade is clean so the water drains quickly. We don't
Correct.
have to, like Alderman Belzak says, it really is the responsibility of the maintenance for the park.
Correct.
Right now, the Park District is not in agreement with us. They're saying that the pipes underground are not working. That's why the water's backing up. Which again, I think from, we said a couple times, but the first analysis, and it was very quick, that we thought too, because it was sitting there. But again, as that debris was moved from the outflow, that pond drained in a couple of hours. So it was pretty clear to us it was just a blockage. But the Park District is now convinced that it's, that grass was ruined because the pipes aren't working. And that's why, again, Dan sent them the plans, and we've asked to meet out there again. I think they'll have an engineer there, so we can explain to them our assessment of the problem.
And I believe their original letter had Stephanie had documented some of the affected, and engineers were out there, but we never saw additional documentation from that, so.
Yes, when you questioned her for the documentation, there was nothing.
Correct.
Okay, so we just wanted to get you in the loop. I'm, as you may be hearing things, rumors out there, especially in Ward 3. So we just wanted you to know the story.
And I have walked out there, so I'm familiar with what's going on.
Right, and just so everyone knows, probably several years ago, we took an initiative around the banks, where we did a joint effort between the Park District and the city, where we came in there and redid the entire banks to help stabilize the bank. So again, there's been cooperation in the past. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Anything further, Dan?
That's all I have, I'm sorry.
Okay. Commander Renke, I believe you want to go over the monthly report? What did I say? I apologize. Commander Pickley. Well, the first email I got from Craig, from Chief, was that Commander Renke was going to be here. Then it was changed to you because he forgot that Commander Renke was going to be on vacation. So I apologize.
I'm not saying Ed didn't plan it that way, but I think he did, so. Madam Mayor, members of the council, and the viewing audience, thank you very much. I would like to also take this opportunity to clue in or get you guys up to speed on some events that have happened here in town, specifically of recent, the events involving Hinsdale South High School. The reason why I bring this up is because I know a lot of people have questions about this. A lot of it, people are unsure or aren't sure about what's going on. They feel they've been left out in the cold, and hopefully by the time I'm done with this, that I'll answer a lot of those questions. Let me also start by saying that as I do speak to you, and this is where some of the frustration comes in from the public, is that this is an active, ongoing investigation. So I am not at liberty to be open about the entire conversation that we have. We don't want to jeopardize the investigation or any possible prosecution down the road. Second is the young man's 16, he's a juvenile. He has an awful lot of protections under the Juvenile Court Act that we're just not at liberty to talk about certain things based on him being a juvenile. So those are two major elements that frustrate a lot of people, and I get it, but I just cannot go outside those boundaries. Back on October 3rd, 2 weeks from today, there was a fellow student who came forward, and he reported to us that via social media that he was observing or was aware of some postings that had to do with threats against a fellow student at Hinsdale South High School. Based on that information, we started a quick investigation. We were very aggressive with that. That led to us tracking down who this individual was. That got us to this young man's house. With the consent of the residents at that house, we were able to get into the house. Inside that house is where we found several guns, explosive devices. We had ammunition, explosive material, not devices. We had ammunition, there were knives, gas masks, shooting targets. So based on what we found, this young man was taken into custody, and ultimately, by the end of the day, or at the end of the day, he was brought up to the juvenile detention facility where he was later charged, and he is now still remanded in custody up at the detention facility in Kane County. His next hearing date is October 19th, so he has a hearing later this week. And again, I'm not sure what's going to happen at that hearing, but we'll see. I just want to stress that a few things came to light in this whole thing, and I think the best thing of this, or one of the key elements I want to stress, is that what this event did was it forced a lot of people to talk. It forced a lot of parents to start talking to their kids about and being aware of and approaching how complicated or how dangerous it could be to be on social media. that the parents have to be involved, or the adults have to be involved in what their children are doing. They have to pay attention to what's going on in the house, certain behaviors. They need to be able to check the sites or the websites of where their kids go and what they do. That's our responsibility as parents to do that kind of thing. I know it's not real popular, but that's the right thing to do. It's also important to know is that without this other person coming forward, the likelihood of us finding this out is unknown. But there's a national campaign that's out there that we've heard time and time again now, is see something, say something. And that's exactly what happened in this case. It is studies show that oftentimes that other people know what's going on other than one individual. So for this young person to come forward and have the courage to come forward we're very thankful for that, because again, without him coming forward, this ball never may have started to have, got rolling on that. It's also important to know is that the cooperation that existed between the police department and the state's attorney's office and Hinsdale District 86, the high school, worked phenomenally. The high school was more than cooperative with us. They pretty much let us run the show, and it was anything you need, let us know, we'll take care of it. Because their main concern, just like our main concern, was the safety of the school and the staff and the students in that school. And I know that there were a lot of people who were upset at the high school the next day that school was going on, but let me assure you, if we had any indication that there was any threat or any safety concern at that school, we would not have let that happen. And the school had no problem whatsoever with shutting down school if it needed to be done. So the cooperation between those three entities was incredible, and it was, again, helped us come to the point that we're at today. Like I said, this is still an ongoing investigation, so we are still all working together to see this through. There are still leads that we're following up on, so we're not done with this. So that is pretty much how this shakes out, and I would be remiss if I did not bring up two important cogs in this whole wheel to get this going, where two of our detectives, Jeff Simic and Rich Studdy. Rich Studdy's our high school SRO, and the work and the time that they put in and the speed at which they worked really, again, helped expedite this process to make sure we were good for the next day to go back to school. So we really appreciate the time and effort that those two individuals really put into this. That's what I have as far as the school goes. Also, any questions on the school? Okay. Also, I'd like to touch on, too, that I know there's always been concerns. I know Chief Thomas has been up here time and time again discussing burglaries to motor vehicles and houses that are getting broken into. Well, unfortunately, some of those things still are happening here in town. And I will echo what he has said time and time again. We need to lock our stuff, because this is still happening. The reports that we're getting in lately of a handful of cars getting broken into, and again, it's more than likely this gang that's coming out of the city. Chicago had an effect on them for a short time, but we believe they're still at it. And we've had a handful of instances where, again, they're getting into cars that people are leaving unlocked, they're leaving car keys in there, they're leaving valuables in there. Garage doors are being left open, they're getting into garage doors, which most people, if you're probably like me, the garage door that goes into your house from your garage may not be locked, and so that's an easy access to get into your house. So it's about locking your doors and closing your doors and not giving them the opportunity. It's a crime of opportunity is what a lot of this is. So if I can beat that drum for Chief Thomas while he's not here, lock your stuff.
Were you going to go over the monthly report at all, or would it just suffice it to say we've all read it?
That was the direction I was given. Suffice it to say you've all read it, but if there's something I can answer, if there's something I can try to answer for you, I will gladly do my best to answer for you.
Yeah,
I
any
don't have a
questions?
question, but I was bringing this up to Administrator Vanna. One number is encouraging for me, and we heard time and time again that one of the most dangerous things for a police officer to do is a traffic stop, because you don't know exactly what you're walking into. And the environment that we have with the police officers throughout the country, with officers maybe having not the morale or the motive to want to go ahead and do their jobs in fear of not coming home that night, in fear of being on a video camera, to look at our traffic stops, total moving, we're up 22% for an entire year. That says that our Darien police officers are doing their job and it's business as usual here in the city of Darien, and I think it's a great stat.
Good for you for noticing that, and yes, we are very appreciative that our patrol officers are starting to, again, pick up their traffic enforcement, because that leads to so many other things that it's a critical part of not just safety, but, again, of law enforcement.
Still a lot of warnings giving out, not tickets, but warnings. That's a concern, isn't it?
Baby steps, Madam Mayor, we're working on it. At least
okay,
they're
okay.
getting out there making the stops, and we're working on trying to change that a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Jerry, one question, maybe you can let the audience know, an incident like happened at the school, if that were to ever escalate, maybe just give a minute on how the police are prepared for things like that. I know there's training, and you prepare very well for that. I think that would be good for the citizens to hear.
Well, by law, each school is required to hold a certain number of drills every year. One of those drills they're required to hold is an active shooter drill. And again, there's all kinds of ways that drill can be conducted. But the way that we like to do it here in our police department is to fully engage, and again, it's all, you know, if I go to a kindergarten, it's going to be treated much differently in first and second grade than when we're in a high school. So what we like to do at the high school, or any school, is to engage the faculty. We like to engage our partners in the fire side, because, again, studies have shown that the sooner that we can get in with, if an event like that happens, the sooner we can get in with the fire department and those who can render aid, the better chance of survival for anybody who's injured. So we've done a lot of practice with, again, the schools and the fire department, working on teams to get into the schools as quick as we can. We don't stand outside and wait for SWAT anymore. We don't stand outside and wait for 6 guys to show up. Our training is totally different, because, again, it's based on studies that tell you is if evil is occurring in your school or in your facility, the sooner that you can get a disruption to that evil, it slows down, and the focus turns to, in this case, the police. So we drill as often as we can, quite frankly, on working on those active incidents or active shooter drills, about getting in quickly, doing it tactically sound, working with the fire department to get them in to render aid as quickly as possible, and getting the injured out as quickly as possible, again, with the purpose of saving lives on that part. So we do practice that. We take it very seriously. And it's not just schools that we train with. I mean, we started training with one of our businesses in town too, which, again, is an office complex. It has 130 employees in the building at any given time. So I think we've all heard the news reports that these kinds of incidences don't happen just in schools. They happen in churches and in businesses and warehouses, so in grocery stores. They happen all over the place. So that's what we try to train for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Commander Bickley?
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's move to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 161712 in the amount of $778,207.41 from the listed funds. Payroll for the period ended September 29th in the amount of $235,360.96, for a total be approved of $1,013,568.37.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Belke. Any questions for the treasurer? Then the roll, please.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belke.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The warrant has been approved. The monthly report.
And monthly report for the 5 months ended September 30th reflect general fund year-to-date revenue $7,950,771, expenditures of $5,321,106, current balance of $2,607,358, water fund revenue year-to-date $3,657,331, expenditures of $2,453,624 for a current balance of $803,708. Motor fuel tax fund year-to-date revenue $230,894, expenditures of $141,622, current balance $357,786. Water depreciation fund year-to-date revenue $577, expenditures $572,624 for a current deficit of $172,047. And the capital improvement fund year-to-date revenue $117,797, expenditures of $2,893,203 for a current balance of $6,185,431.
Any questions for the treasurer? Let's move on to standing committee reports. Alderman Marquez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Municipal Services Committee will be meeting 1 week from tonight, October 24th at 6:30 here in the council chambers.
Alderman Shower.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our next admin finance meeting will be held on Monday, November 7th at 6 p.m. in our upstairs meeting room.
Okay, do we have a police committee report?
Yes, we do. We will have our quarterly police pension fund meeting next
Pension.
Thursday. Instead of Wednesday, it'll be next Thursday, October 27th at 7 o'clock across the street in the police training room.
7 o'clock, you said?
7 o'clock.
That's the same, is that the same day as our,
No,
No, it's
oh,
Okay.
ours
26.
is
Or the day
26th,
before,
right?
yeah, this day
Usually it
after.
falls on the
Okay.
same day.
Is there a police committee, do we have a date for
The
that?
meeting was canceled for this evening. There was a meeting scheduled.
Okay,
It was canceled due to lack of agenda items, and the next meeting would be the,
November 21st at 6 p.m.
okay. Very good, thank you. Questions, comments, agenda related? We have no audience, and so I think we've all covered our question, yes. Alderman
I
Belke?
did not mention this in our work session, I apologize, but I did have a quick question on consent agenda B with the AIS Inc. Service agreement for an annual amount of $48,000.
Our
Was
current
that a
day, yeah.
budgeted amount?
Well,
Was
we-
it the amount
yeah,
budgeted?
we budget X amount. We didn't contemplate this year having the agreement where we'll have a monthly fixed fee. But at this point, we're anticipated to be within the budget, and this monthly agreement will carry us in part into next year. So at this point, Paul, we're expecting it to be within our computer.
Yeah, at this point, we should be within budget, and also with this agreement, there is a 30-day out, either way, if it's not working out with this
Okay.
with this company.
This is the current service.
Current vendor,
Yeah,
yes.
current vendor, yeah.
They just changed to a different platform. Their business model changed.
So if nothing big happens with the computers, we anticipate being within budget.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Let's move to old business, and there being no old business, I'll move to the consent agenda. And for the viewing public, we have 2 items on the consent agenda this evening. The first is a motion to approve our tax levy determination for our general and special purposes for our fiscal year 2016-2017. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with AIS Inc. to provide information technology services for the city of Darien in the annual amount of $48,240 and a one-time charge of $5,572 for equipment and setup. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Belke. The roll, please.
Shower,
Aye.
Belke,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Marquez,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
5 ayes, 2 absent.
Both items have been approved. Under new business, we have 1 item, a motion to approve a resolution authorizing a private property development stormwater management assistance project for 8421 and 8425 Creekside Lane. And the vendor is J&R Landscaping and Tree Services in an amount not to exceed $10,984.60. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Marquez. The roll, please. Any discussion? Nobody had any discussion, so I just assume we just move on. The roll, please.
Belzak,
Aye.
Marquez,
Aye.
Belke,
Aye.
Kenny,
No.
Shower,
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 nay, and 2 absent.
The motion has been approved. Let's move to questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Alderman Marquez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a brief comment. As many of you know, last weekend was Candy Day weekend in the city of Darien. And on behalf of the Lions Club, I just want to say thank you to the residents of the city for their many contributions this weekend.
My tradition is over. I didn't see you out, and I was driving around. I got my Lions Club candy, but I didn't put my dollar in your can this year. What happened?
You were out, right?
Yeah, yeah, we were out. You know, it's gotten to the point where we had 87 people that worked this weekend.
Wow.
But with all the corners that we're responsible for and all the storefronts we're responsible for, sometimes there's several hours where you don't have anybody on that corner.
That's what I was.
So that's probably what happened.
I
But
had my money ready and I didn't see.
I was looking for Joe Marquez. I was saving it
He'll
for
still
Joe
take it
Marquez.
tonight.
I'm sure he will.
I was at 75th and Lamont.
Ron Koziel got me on,
I mean,
Ron Koziel got me on
Oh, I-
75th Street, yeah.
but many thanks for the contributions.
Okay. If there's nothing further, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn. Belkey, we just do it by outcry, don't we? We don't have a motion?
No.
No. Okay, well, in that case, a motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Who was the second on that?
On just this motion?
Yes.
I thought it was just open outcry here, but I guess not. Okay, Shower and Belkey,
Okay. Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Pretty quiet.